Hello everybody, this is Martel the Cool, aka Mr. Martel Nelson. You can find me on both Instagram as well as on YouTube. And this gentleman right here is Birdman the Forest. You can find him on both Instagram and YouTube under the same name. But anyways, just want to say, what's your can you tell me what your story is like for the last couple weeks? You said you was on vacation. Can you tell me what that's like?
Well, I jumped out of one fire and into another frying pan because I actually ended up leaving a peaceful situation and jumping into a war zone. When I was invited to go out of town, I thought it was the greatest thing that ever happened, and yet I have never been in a situation where adversarial relationships, if you don't like somebody, you should leave. If you don't like the place that you're staying, you should get out. But in this case, it's two people that like doing battle with each other. And honestly speaking, for 20 hours a day until they fell asleep, till somebody left, or till one of the other of them left, it was the worst situation. I don't want to tell anybody this because it was the most aggressive situation I've ever been in. I mean, me and my birds, we get along really fine. Me and my friends, when they come by, we get along really fine. But to be in an adversarial relationship, I kind of thought it was like The Honeymooners with Jackie Gleason and Audrey Meadows. Because one of these days, Gracie, I'm just going to pow right in the kisser. They was on the verge of a fight 24/7.
24/7?
And if they weren't asleep, they were going to be yelling and screaming. And it's the volume. I'm used to being a loud person. I'm very used to being loud. I'm trying to be entertaining and I'm trying to be educational. But the volume in that house was always on the verge of turning into being violent.
Wow.
It's hard to take a vacation when somebody's got a war going on in your backyard.
Wow.
And this was the war. I didn't bring the war, but it brought itself to me.
You don't find trouble, trouble follow you.
Actually, if you believe it, that's called fatalism. The idea that no matter where you go, no matter what you do, there will always be problems and circumstances, situations. That's fatalism. But honestly speaking, to step into a hostile environment is, I think I wrote something about 5 days ago that said, it's got to be a bitch to be at war when all the guns are going off, the bombs are going off, the cannons are going off, the tanks are going off, and you get used to that. You get used to when there's a fight going on, you get used to being ready for the fight. But when it gets quiet, somebody's asleep or somebody's left the house. And that is most dangerous. The eerie stillness and the eerie quiet is just as dangerous as when the bombs are going off and when the guns are going off and the cannons are going off. The eerie stillness, when you get afraid to be quiet, when you have to fear the quiet, that's why the veterans have such a hard time.
Because they're so used to war pretty much. And
yeah, they can't stand down. And if it's quiet, something's getting ready to happen. And even though I don't believe in the fatalism that you kind of suggested, that trouble will follow you, trouble will find you, you don't have to ask for it, you don't have to pay for it, you don't have to buy it, it'll be there. But honestly, this was a situation that I couldn't fix. Oh, the most frustrating thing was there's nothing I could do to fix it. I mean,
we want to say to the audience of all this.
If you're in a nasty relationship, you should get the hell out of it. That doesn't take any sense. If you're getting beat up or getting hit, or somebody puts their hands on you, get away.
And tell them to get help.
And get help. Oh yeah, definitely get help. Not necessarily just call the police, because most of the time it's like call the police. But if you're in an abusive situation, it's going to damage your personality, and you're going to need help.